So she's so strong and projected, but there's sometimes a confusion or a sorrow with the Neptune. It's coming from the fourth house or home. Where do I belong? Where do I fit in? There's some evasiveness, there's some aloneness from this Neptune coming to the sun. So you have the creative energy, and aspects are not the strong. They're telling you as the astrologer showing the tension around it. Still, she has to be her sun in the first house, with her Cancer ascendant, with her Leo, her Aries moon. She's got to be that. But there's some catch here. There's some, she's not, I guess you'd say if she's doing something, don't blame her. Don't say she did something wrong because she'll feel guilty. Then if she feels guilty, she's going to come up really strong to try and address it. Maybe too strong to fix things. So in a relationship, she's doing so much, but if somebody wanted more attention, all they'd have to do is ignore her and she'd feel something was wrong and she'd have to go fix that. And there's a gullible side somewhere here to this Neptune. In life, it means you come out of not being really that supported. Maybe she was the daughter instead of the son that her parents wanted, you know, like, or maybe they were moving a lot when she was born, or maybe these aspects are going to be there. So mom was serious with the Saturn and the moon. The sun was not really getting all the attention. It could have got, like, something was not exactly right in the home. Neptune, some confusion from where she was born, when, whatever that came up, that affected her goals of what she could do. So she can't expect support from home. She's going to more expect, there's complications, there's things that are distracting things. I have to get out of that and go project and build up things on my own. So even though she has so much planets below, that moon up in the 10th house starts looking good. I'm going to need for this. I need to get out of the home moon in the 10th house. I need to get away from complications or sorrows or people depending on me or relying on me too much. I got to go make something happen. There's a kindness in here. There's the practical side that isn't going to show sympathy that much. But there's a need to be kind or dedicated from the Neptune. One can feel real lost or really sad. One can feel I'm not doing what I should be doing. But trying to work at what one could believe. I'm doing this, but I really believe I should be doing something else. So trying to find one's beliefs or get confidence in believing in oneself. It's interesting that someone could be have such a confident chart and yet at the same time have some doubts or confusion in herself, or some questionable faith. More about, like, that's the setting side. She can put everything out, but what comes in? What's enough? What does she take in? And she has this Neptune down low. So she says, does anybody believe in me? Do I believe that? Am I believed in? I'm not. If people believe in her, she would overreact. And if someone believed in her, she'd give everything. If someone didn't, she would be really strongly affected by that. Could probably cut it off, but this Neptune is there, so there's a puzzle. We're going to be watching for that. Okay, Mars, how she puts it in Mars, nobody. It's trine Saturn, responsible, sextile Neptune, no problem. It's conjunct Pluto. This is a very strong, forceful, assertive person with his strength. When she's doing things, she wants to make something happen. She's going to make it happen with all her energy. This is the bulldozer. This is the Mars Pluto. This is powerful. Don't tell me what way. Don't get in my way. Don't tell me how to drive. Don't slow me down. So she has this really strong side. Smart, strong, dynamic, but a sense of being haunted, of being alone. There's some kind of puzzle inside this where she does everything, but what do I get? There's a little aloneness. Usually this aloneness comes, or sorrow comes from the Neptune. I don't want to feel guilty, but she wants to overcompensate. And then in life, there's usually a challenge that one would need to find a dedication to champion, to build up one's faith in oneself. With faith in herself, wow, that removes all, the rest of her chart is all pretty outstanding. Okay. The Jupiter, we talked a little bit about, it's in the 5th house. A performance of kids, of understanding, but it's squared by Uranus. She has an unconventional understanding of relationships of kids The Jupiter squares Mercury, but it's really squared by Uranus. So it's unconventional. Normal understandings don't work for her. Shouldn't fit into the norm. It's excitable. Essentially, it's different. That's exciting, that difference, but it can be also a little isolating, like the Neptune to the Sun. So you don't know. I'm getting the sense maybe energies put way more out to career than to home, even though the lifestyle below the horizon was more important than the status. The ability to go make the status happen, take care of that, yes, but the ability to stay receptive and just be at home. She would have trouble being a housewife staying at home. And not with the Sun, the first, like, different. She's the leader. She's going to have to do things. But there's a puzzle. Which thing should I do? Which way should I go? That puzzle, that's the Sun, Neptune. The Mars is strong, powerful, no big affliction. Okay, it's in Virgo, but it's conjunct the Pluto. If there's a challenge, if there's a competition, she's going to be right there and carry her weight, and then some. Okay, there's yeah, you wouldn't want her for an enemy. You wouldn't want her to fight her. You align with her. Don't get in her way. Okay, and the Jupiter, okay, then the Saturn, we talked about the Saturn in the 6th house, that's the health and the work, being of service, the hard work, being of service, having to make the effort to get skills that can make one useful. And if you're useful, you get better feedback for being useful, for being relating to people. I can be useful, I can fix this, I can do that. That's the Saturn. But the minute someone's not responding enough, someone's unhappy, energy's coming in that's not positive, that's the Capricorn on the 7th. Something's missing, something's not there. I'll have to work to fix it. That's the Saturn. Okay, the other planets, they're in the same signs, but she has her Uranus and Leo. And everyone for 7 years will have that, but just it's in the 2nd house, so unconventional freedom through resources and using her own energy and her own ideas. Thinking for herself. That's the Uranus. Neptune's in the 4th house. It's the deep, impressionable complex of deep faith, deep dedication, but can also be a deep aloneness or sensitivity. There's a meditative quality to this. There's also a kind of alone and isolated quality to this. So there might be aversion for home and around home and family. The Pluto, it's in the 3rd house of having to go and do. This person needs a car, needs to do what she wants, needs to get around where she wants. That's the Pluto, the Mars. Okay, so you have someone with high energy. It's got stuff that she's got to do. What you need to get into and go make it happen so she has a name for herself. That's it. Powerful. It's interesting that the moon is put up. So she's going to put her personal energy, her needs, out into career to accomplish things, to hold things together, to make sure she could do it. If you're married to her or relating to her and you were trying to do things for her, it would be much harder. She's going to be wanting to do the things for you. She's going to be driven to do things, to make things, to fix things, not to sit back and relate and just let me do things. I'll take care of it. That's not her format. Okay, and the last point, again, we've done all the charts deeply. We've gone through each of these. We've spent hours on these. So I'm just doing a kind of review, a quick take on looking at a chart and coming in quickly, making sure I touch each of the categories to at least have some sense. And I'm not trying to define it. I'm not trying to belabor it. We can get into any one of these things deeper if they're being triggered by transits or if something else is coming in. But I want to have a beginning sense of this. Her motivation, her IC is in Virgo. It's motivated, she's motivated to be analyzing and self-critical about where she's coming from, about her motives, but where she is. Nothing's ever going to be good enough. She's always going to be trying to improve. When she's at home, 4th house, she's going to want to be trying to fix it, to improve things. There's not someone who's going to sit still. I got to fix this. I got to do this. I'm analyzing this. As soon as she starts analyzing, she's going to get many ideas quickly. Going to go to the Mercury that rules it. It's going to affect how she does things, that all the planets in the 3rd house. She's going to try, as soon as she sees something needs to be done, it needs to be fixed, she's going to try and fix it, make it happen. and she's not going to have patience for delays. So anyways, that's a self-critical Virgo. Motivation. That motivation is going to come out on her ascendant, super sensitive ascendant. I sense what needs to be improved. I'm sensitive to it. I'm going to project this out sensitively. So her personality, for such a strong person, her personal identity is very sensitive. So more sensitive than most people would give her credit for. They're going to see her action and her energy, not always her ascendant. She's seeing the ascendant, but she's too proud, fire, to show her feelings. Doesn't mean she didn't have them. It's sensitive. And it feeds into her sun in the first house. I have to fix it. I have to be beyond this. I have to do that. So she has the sensitivity. She's not going to want to indulge the sensitivity. It's going to be channeled into that moon up in the 10th house, whatever demanded of her, whatever needed of her. So at home, this would be very demanding and more difficult. Out in the world, once she got out of school and got out trying to do things in her own world, it would be perhaps easier. Still, the sensitivity is there. Okay, we just know that's tied to the moon. The midheaven is up in Pisces, which is multiple jobs, generally helping, it's coordinating, it's organizing, it's tied up with other people, trying to do kind things to help things. But our moon in Aries is up in the 10th house, but that Pisces in the 10th house is a need to believe in the work that one's doing, to be really multifaceted or reaching out or have a diversity. It's Jupiter, it's organizing, it's understanding, it's seeing, it's adaptable. So you're just taking the categories, running it through on the midheaven, the outer status. Her descendant, see, she's very analytical what she's doing, but she has to follow whatever belief is happening outside of her. Like the Pisces, I gotta live up to this. I need to fix this. So the analytical stuff is very personal. Outwardly, that's not what's going to come out. That's outwardly is what she believes in. It's more of a Jupiterian, jovial, team-spirited thing. Her ascendant, her personal ascendant, she's going to have her personal sensitivities, but she projects things out. It's very sensitive to what she's projecting out of her image. But what response does she get? People see is Capricorn. So she attracts the serious people, the people that don't give her attention, that are detached and more practical, more efficient, so that implies often a late marriage or marriage to an older person, or there's an age difference. There's a restraint or a caution or a need for respect through partnerships, through relationships, to be listened to or to listen to. There's a need for this respect in there. And that respect, that need is ruled by Saturn, which is in the 6th house. So working to make partnerships work, make them be efficient, that's there. If anything, should be said, when she has personal feelings, they're not necessarily going to be, it's not how people are going to relate to her. You're going to give her practical things, no matter whether she's getting her feelings hurt or not. Probably should be too intense for people to assume the personal side because of all the other intensity of the other planets. Okay. You just got to touch all of these things. And you make up a caricature, I'm just doing it. And when I'm doing these charts, I'm not working on a preconceived, I'm just going off the top to make associations as we're going ahead so you can see my thinking process and the steps I'm taking to do it. You'll have your own understandings, your own connections to each of these categories, but it's the texture of taking the steps and knowing I've done enough steps to cover the basic foundations of this chart, how it works. And as you get to know charts more and more, you can do these, you begin to go through these steps quicker and quicker. But taking the fifth, we took what did we say? We took half an hour to get through all, a little more than 40 minutes to take all of this. That's normal. That's good this is your prep work.